Hey, Jeff here. Now, normally I do my videos here at the desk and do a little ranting or whatever you may want to call it. In the next video or the next part of this video, I'm going to be doing it at a nature setting. And you probably won't see me a lot, but you'll hear me talking. So stick around for a minute while we switch over to the nature setting. So, is this view okay? I think it's a nice change up. Now let's cover a few things I've been seeing lately in the news. Currently, there's legislation floating around out there to remove the income limits while drawing Social Security. I suspect it'll be a few years from going into effect, but that should help me a great deal when I can finally retire. The extra income will be good. The extra activity of a job will keep me in better shape. So, right now, I'm eyeballing some jobs which will allow me to work flexible hours and I guess flexible work days. Yeah, you say good luck with that. But I have a list of a few jobs that will allow me to do just that. Now I'm still a couple years out, so this list could cycle and change and whatever over the next few years. Now I won't get into that list right now, but it's looking quite positive that with the legislation and job prospects, that retirement from my current job will be good. The next topic rolls into retirement. The Trump administration has been researching Australian system for people who retire. As I understand the plan, the administration wants to see if it is feasible to privatize your Social Security money into a fund that almost solely invests in the stock market, very similar to a 401k type plan, thereby letting a NGO manage your money to be paid out at retirement. Now, you could look at it like this. This fund would be harder for the government to use as a slush fund when they screw up the budget elsewhere. Or another way is private investors could shit up the works too with bad investment choices. I'm interested to hear about the idea and what guarantees would be in place if it takes place. Now, anything I say here is pure speculation and shouldn't be taken as some investment advice. I'm merely a guy just asking questions. I'm hoping this very system will allow the government to roll all you've paid already into Social Security into this new plan. Very much is the same as a 401k rollover. I encourage you to start looking into this Australian system, the same as I will be doing, and form your own opinion. Now, I don't know where this will lead us. If Trump will change or any administration will change our Social Security or how like dividends are paid out into your retirement years, but it's worth listening to. I don't know how you feel about it, this administration, that administration. It really makes no difference to me. I vote in regards to what's best for me. And right now it seems to be working out. It's not really a debate. It's up to you how you vote and how you feel towards these things. But anyway, I'm not going to turn this into politics. This is just a pre-retirement channel. So as we talk about this, I hope you're enjoying the view a little bit. Yeah, I know it's a little bit of traffic in a parking area, but it ought to be kind of cool versus sitting at a desk and trying to blow smoke. Anyway, so getting back to that, we want to get as much money as we can out of Social Security, whatever it's called in the future or whatever. Now, as I understand, what Trump is trying to do is, because of my age, I'll still be under, say, the old Social Security plan. But say at a certain age, which he hasn't determined yet, or nobody's determined, there'll be, let's say the new plan starts in 2027. And I don't know this to be any truth to it, but it's just how I'm guessing. Anybody who's 27 years old in 2027 would start the new plan. Anybody beyond 27 years old would still be under the old plan. None of that is any truth to that at all. It's just the way I'm thinking it's going to work. He could set an age limit and say, okay, everybody at this point, So old system, everybody from this point is the new system. Or, whatever, date of birth, 1960 or 50 or 78 or 90. You're all under these different plans. And I'm thinking that's probably the way it's going to go. I have roughly 6 years until I can retire, Social Security and a pension from work. So I'm kind of trying to pay off debts and, things like that right now, and get out from under everything, as I said in the other videos. But hey, while you guys are thinking about this, or wondering what exactly I'm saying here, or maybe you've never heard of it, could you like, share, and subscribe? That would be really cool. Kind of get these videos out there a little bit. I know there's people of my age who are in the same position, not in retirement, but coming up to retirement. And they're wondering which way to go. Well, I didn't really know, so I started digging around, asking questions. And these are some of the questions I have. I tend to think, and now, and I think in a later video, what I'm going to do, I tend to think it's time to start downsizing. No more big cars, no more this, no more high dollar purchases. It's time to end it, or at least minimize it. And I'm kind of in the process of doing that. I drive a Dodge Ram, doesn't matter the year, and it generally is a lot higher in gas. It's a great vehicle. I have no complaints. Does everything I need it to do. But I came across another car, a small car, a 4-cylinder A to B car, kind of a disposable car, but it has air, radio, everything I need. And it's, like I said, it's not as comfortable, not as capable as the truck, but it's time to start downsizing. So what I did is I end up purchasing that, and the truck will sit basically. Now I live in Ohio, so it snows here. So I use the truck for, moving stuff, or in extremely bad weather where the car isn't as capable. And that should reduce the miles on the truck. I should have it for a long time. And the car I bought, is low miles on the car. That should last me into retirement. So I've kind of lucked into that situation. So that's kind of pushed off to the side. Now, do I really want to work again when I retire? No, I don't want to be in that rut, but I'll need the physical exercise at least a little bit, and to be able to get out of the house, have a little extra spending money, and not put such a big a dent in the budget going into retirement. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of loss, but with everything going on, maybe not. Maybe I won't be losing that much. So, what do you intend to do? Could you, like, share, subscribe, as I said earlier? And, it'd be really helpful if you had a comment, talked amongst, yourselves, or including myself. I try to answer everything I can. I work, Monday through Friday, so it's a little tough. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Coming up into retirement, I have some college, I have high school. And, when you look at jobs, that you get on the internet and it's always the same thing: consulting, or substitute teacher. Well, I'm not qualified for any of that stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a good majority of you aren't either. And that doesn't make you bad or less than. It's just, you're different. A guy who drives a truck all his life, which I don't do, drives a truck all his life. Right? Consulting to what? Anyway, maybe the trucking industry, but you get what I'm saying. Jobs don't apply to you. So what could be the jobs you could do that wouldn't be a lot of work? Kind of a mere presence job, somewhere you could just be present, and then still get a little exercise or whatnot. I don't know. Where do we go with all this, guys? Where's it? What happens? What jobs? I mean, I do have a list of them, and I had a you know, a few ideas that'll keep me busy 3-4 days a week, a couple hours a day. Maybe I'll get lucky, find something under the table, or as I said earlier in this video, they drop the income ceiling on the Social Security thing. You all know what that is. If you're looking at Social Security, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to explain it. There's a million videos out there that will cover that for you. So I'll get X dollars for Social Security, and if I can earn X dollars from a part-time job, get a little exercise, I should be doing okay. And then that'll complete the transition. I'll be able to go into retirement with a little less money, do that a few years, and then eventually just stop that, and everything should be good to go. So I know the view isn't exactly nature scene, and all you're really kind of seeing is traffic or people up here ahead putting up a, I don't know, wind sail or paddleboard. Just to the right of the picture, which you can't see, is a river. I'm not going to say which one. There's a sign over there to the left you might be able to read, and that'll place where I'm at this time. So hope you guys like the video. It's just a topic, something I'm trying to cover, and looking for input in anybody from anybody else. So hope you guys are doing okay and all that other stuff, and I'm going to keep moving along. And like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment, please comment. And I'm Jeff in Ohio.